First day of a new year. And what do I wake up to? My computer is being rattled by a very loud and hard knocking sound. That fan is the problem. I have a feeling that it's either a bearing fan and the bearings have gone out or something has come loose inside it. Unfortunately, the only way to get to it is to open it up, take it out, of course. I tried to use the motherboard application just to turn off the fan, but of course, this is a gigabyte board, and they didn't bother to make their apps work in Windows 11. I did manage to get them to run, but with no access to the fan controls. I got to get this thing back up and running, or I can't fix these videos up and get them loaded. That's just about the most minor part of what I do with this. As you can see, it's got a RTX 3090 in it. And as you can see, it's dusty. I have not been around much this last year, and so it has accumulated a lot of dust, and I need to clean it out. The biggest issue I have is just that this case weighs a lot. When those 100-pound propane tanks are full, they weigh about 100 pounds. And I can lift them with one hand, and depending on how much I can lift it, how easy I can lift it, I can tell how much is in it, of course. This computer must weigh close to 100 pounds. It sounds like I'm joking. There's no way it weighs that much. I really wouldn't doubt it weighs every bit of 80 or 85. Yes, I can lift it if I can get to it, but where it is stored, I have to lean way over and drag it off of its table, desk, whatever it is, computer support, whatever. And then get it to where I can finally grab it. And then it's a matter of not tripping over these dogs. They've been a pain today. And get it outside where I can clean it. As you can see, I have never taken off these protective plastics. I don't really, show this to anyone anyway. But I leave it on there for cases like this when I need to maneuver it and I don't want to scratch it up. This is a Fantex case. I don't remember the exact model, but it is, well, it's not really big. I think you need an even bigger case to handle the 4090 or the 5090. But I've got a Z490 Master Aorus board in it from Gigabyte. That was really something at the time. And this card cost me $1,500 when I bought it. If only I could have waited a couple of years. But no, I was gearing up for VR and everything. I already had a Quest 2, and that was really good, but I was getting a Quest 3, and I needed something that would do everything. Rendering, VR, and now AI. And boy, does this thing do a job. The 4090 is more energy efficient and a little bit faster. I haven't compared it to the 5090. Surely it's even better. But this has tempered glass panels, a thick, heavy metal case. It is just one heck of a case. And while I'm just air cooling that, I do have water cooling on the CPU. I don't think that's a water cooler up there. I don't remember putting in another water cooler. We'll see. But for 2026, the very first day, I wake up to a fan that is rattling so hard it could literally do damage to the components inside. Fortunately, I don't run the old style hard disks in this. Any of them I use for mass storage, I leave outside in a USB and eSATA enclosures. Now I've got, let's see, I think I've got 12 or 14, no, make that 16 because I got that one under the monitor. 16 external enclosures, have about 8 of them active at a time. I don't use them as much now, so I've shut down some of them that were active. But when I was busy working, man, I needed a way to organize and protect and back up things, so I used them a lot. And that doesn't even include the server and drives on it, and that's the other problem. Not only did I have this fan issue, a drive on my server has give out. It's the enclosure on it that has given out. I'm pretty sure the drive is fine. It doesn't hold anything too critical, just collections that I can watch on my devices or TV or something. But it's not, my main stuff that I own or anything. It's just streamable stuff. I'm going to try and get it going today. I think it probably just has a failed power adapter. If that's all it is, I'll just get another. And at the same time, I turn my monitor on and there's a stuck pixel. Not the end of the world, just annoying. And of course, a few days ago, the wind ripped the thick plastic cover that I had on this Winnebago. And so I have spent all day yesterday going up and down the ladders, getting over this thing, taking care of any sharp points in order to put this new cover that Amazon sent me. And it says in the instructions it takes at least 2 people to put that on. They are absolutely correct. I still did it. But it was tough. I just hope it lasts a while. It comes with high wind straps. I'll get this secured underneath, and then I'll get those high wind straps on it. Hopefully it'll work. It has access points to access the door, the windows, stuff like that. It's a pretty well thought out deal. This is for those kind of campers that, hook on trailers and stuff, but this is what I got. Yes, I can make this run. That would not be a problem. A rat chewed a bunch of the wiring on the engine and everything. They even ate the metal air conditioner lines, but I can fix all that. I would have done it years ago, but let's just say life got in the way. The front of it's kind of messed up, but too bad. I tried and tried to get that saved, but no one would listen to me. So I would have to do some repairs up here. All the rest of it's actually real nice, but I'm using it as storage right now for a lot of paintings and Star Trek and Star Wars collectibles and stuff like that came from an estate. Stuff my dad inherited. But it seems to be pretty good. It's supposed to be 7 layers, and it actually feels a lot thicker than the old big plastic I had up there. I know you can't see a whole lot of it right now. I'd have to go to the wide angle. And ignore that stuff, that's just trash. The carpet's just there to let the sun and the rain do whatever it can to it. I'll probably just throw it away anyway. There's the old plastic that was up there. The wind's just ripped it apart. The sun finally got to it all. The ropes gave way. Well, let's see. Figures. This filter was completely clogged when I looked at it yesterday. That's what I get for not being around. Okay, these 2 fans seem alright. Oh, these are just fans. Okay, this is the water cooler up here. We've got all kinds of fan and light control up here. But unfortunately, there is a short in this system that I never did bother to fix. So I don't use the lights. My guess is there's a lot of copper in this system. I had to modify it all so that this video card would set it aslant to get enough air. This was supposed to fit the 3090, but it puts it right against the door. The modification worked just fine. I just had to take some pliers and twist these little case pieces back here where they were out of the way of the ports plugging into the card, and then I had to do a little drilling to make them fit all these holes back here. But this was the only way I could keep this thing from frying my SSD drives. You know, they're on the motherboard, and the heat produced in all my other cases from this just fried them and fried them and fried them. But once I did this, the temperatures all around went down real well. Let's see here. It's been so long, I'm not sure how this comes off. Radiator isn't too dirty. Okay. That much dirt. It's a little overkill, but I'll use my cordless air compressor to clean it up. It takes a little more than that this air duster. It does a good job, but it ain't going to do that good a job. So I'll have to use an air compressor. That's a lot cleaner. It's not perfect, but I'm not going to try and tear it all the way down. It's got little bits of dust still on things. These fans feel perfect. If this had been a client's computer, you bet I'd get it sparkling clean. But I'm in a hurry and it's just mine. Let's see here. This is the fan I'm after. Looks like it comes down here, goes up. Oh, I've got a fan controller up here. I see. If I could have just reached that, I'd have been fine. Okay. Well, isn't that just special? No, there's no way I could have opened this flap in there where this sits. I would have had to open the door up wide enough to get this access panel open. And there just isn't enough room in there. What this needs is to be set in the center of a room where you can get all around it. But honestly, this is a really impressive case. But it weighs like crazy. And it's not like the motherboard's light or the CPU's light or the cooler and the cooling system's light or the graphics card's light. Let's see here. That's just a 750 watt. Holy cow. I was running 1,000, but it had plenty of years on it. I didn't want to risk it. And the 750 actually will run this just fine. I wish this were cleaner. This has a display on it that can display all the statistics of the card and how it's running, or play videos or GIFs or anything like that on it. Put a picture on it. Kind of useless when you set it up like this. When you got it set in the card, it's facing out here. But I do not have the luxury of that. I needed this for cooling, and this case is built for cooling. It is vented everywhere. It's got filters everywhere. I'm happy with it. Even if I have to take 2 Tylenol to move it. So let's see what's going on with this fan. In case it matters, I was only using about 30 psi of air pressure. You have to be careful using air compressors, of course, but I'm not using one of the standard oiled ones. That's an oilless. I've never had any moisture or oil issues with the air coming out of it. If I was to do that to a client's computer, I'd use a dryer and a filter in line. There's one on the big air compressor. This fan is set to draw air out. So let's see if I can save it. I kept trying to find where this was plugged in. Totally forgot. This case has a built-in fan controller. That's why I couldn't access them with the app. I probably could have turned it off right there the whole time. That was loud, and it was just shaking everything. It's acting like it needs a spacer. This is about the speed this fan turns anyway in the case. It doesn't have to flow very fast. I don't remember how I've set this up, but it just doesn't need much airflow. And this is a fan that came with the case, not one I bought. Okay. Let's see these. Okay, they're not wanting anything. The bearings feel good. But I believe I can fix it by taking it apart and putting a spacer in it. Okay. I'll probably have to make one.